The Trail of the Northern Lights begins in Oslo, where we have a 2-night stay. We then take a train to the port city of Bergen, where we have a 1-night stay. From here, we board the Hurtigruten for the 7-night voyage to Kirkenes. We spend 2 nights in Kirkenes before we start to head south into Finland for a 3-night stay in igloos in the forest. The tour then heads east, across the Russian border and onto the city of Murmansk. From here, we take an overnight train to St. Petersburg. The tour starts in Oslo, where we have 2 nights, and we visit Vigeland Park, the largest sculpture park in the world by a single artist, boasting 200 pieces. We also visit the Viking Ship Museum, where the best preserved Viking boats in the world are displayed. After our stay in Oslo, we board the train for Bergen. This train will take 7 hours, and it will pass through 180 tunnels. It has 22 stops on what is one of the most spectacular journeys in Norway. We arrive in the city of Bergen by mid-afternoon. Bergen is a beautiful place surrounded by mountains and fields. We take a funicular to the top of the mountain for spectacular views over the city. Bergen also offers a fine example of Norwegian wooden architecture. We also visit the house of Edward Grieg, and these are the views that would have inspired the great composer. After our stay in Bergen, we board the Hurtigruten for our 7-night voyage to Kirkenes. The Hurtigruten set out as a postal boat, but as the years rolled on, it started to take on tourists, and it now provides daily year-round consistent traffic between Bergen and Kirkenes. It never feels like there are too many people on the ship. The preparation and quality of the food on board is world class. The fish is caught from the sea, and all the ingredients are organically grown. The presentation of the food is superb, and the buffet is always varied and interesting. As the ship heads north past Trondheim, there are chances to see the Northern Lights. The organisation on board the ship is first class. Often the Northern Lights occur late in the evening. If this happens, the staff phone the cabins, and we have a choice whether to come up and see the Northern Lights or stay asleep. The cabins themselves are rather small, but well equipped, and they all have an outside window, which means sometimes we can see the Northern Lights without even going up on deck. Leaving Tromsø near the Arctic Circle, we head up towards the North Cape. All too soon, we arrive at Kirkenes, the final destination of the voyage. This is where we disembark for a fascinating 2-night stay. We use the Thon Hotel here, beautifully located right in the centre of the city, yet on a frozen fjord. One of the exciting excursions that we do in Kirkenes is to take a sleigh pulled by a snowmobile out to where the king crabs are. The crabs are caught in a steel cage which is placed at the bottom of the water. This is where the king crab resides, and the bait they use is codfish or herring. The crab meat's flavour is unrivalled. The leg meat is known for its rich, sweet flavour and delicately tender texture reminiscent of lobster. It all makes for a rather delicious lunch. While we're in Kirkenes, we go out to see something very novel, a snow hotel, the first of its kind, made completely of snow and ice. However, we still prefer the warm comforts of our hotel in the centre of the city. We leave Kirkenes and cross the border into Finland for the 3-hour drive to the igloo village of Kaksaltinen. We spend 3 nights here, and we stay in hybrid igloos. Spacious log cabins with their own sauna and part of the glass igloo attached. Best of both worlds. Our stay at Kaksaltinen is full of exciting excursions. Reindeer sleighing, dog sledding in the forest. The igloo village has one large, very cosy restaurant. The staff are lovely and the food is superb. Perhaps the most exciting excursion is the full day we spend when we cross the border to Sweden and down to the Gulf of Bothnia. This is the Polar Explorer icebreaker ship. Between December and March, the ship's daily routine is to make new routes for ships. The icebreaker makes a pool free of ice, and we have the chance to take a swim in the dark icy water in flotation survival suits. These suits can be used for up to 2 hours, but we don't take the chance. 20 minutes is our limit. Of the places on the tour where we're most likely to see the Northern Lights, Kaxlautenen is number one. The reason for that is because it's a dark forest and pollution is almost zero. When the skies are clear, between December and March, while not guaranteed, the chances to see the Northern Lights are very high. The road from Kaxlautenen to the border with Russia is only 1.5 hours. This border point is newly opened, and because of that, it's a very quiet and quick crossing. From this border point through to Murmansk it's only 3 hours. Murmansk is the largest Arctic city in the world. Lying on the Kola Peninsula, this is an ice-free port on the Barents Sea, and home to the most prestigious navy in Russia, the Northern Fleet. The city attracted worldwide fame in the year 2000 because of the Kursk submarine disaster. The submarine's hull is now a memorial in the centre of the city. Murmansk is a Soviet city. It's full of great monuments, but the navy is never far away. This is a church of the Saviour on the waters. And this is the Lenin icebreaker. Launched in 1957, it was the first nuclear-powered icebreaker in the world. Today, it's a fascinating museum. On one of the days that we're in Murmansk, we take a day trip out to meet the Sami people, indigenous to the Arctic regions and occupying northern Norway, Sweden, Finland and the Kola Peninsula. These people are essentially reindeer herders, and our trip to see them is to uncover their traditions and have some fun as well. This is Murmansk railway station and train number 91 that will take us through to St. Petersburg in 24 hours. This is the Kirov Railway, as famous in Russia as the Trans-Siberian. It is a vital link between St. Petersburg and the ice-free port of Murmansk. The line was constructed between 1914 and 1959, but only electrified in 2005. We always have comfortable 2-berth cabins for this overnight train, and there's an excellent dining car on board. The train pulls into St. Petersburg Ladega station at 10 o'clock in the morning. Russian trains are always on time these days. While we're in St. Petersburg for 3 nights, we stay at this hotel, the Kempinski, 100 meters from the Winter Palace, the Hermitage. The Hermitage has the greatest art collection in the world, and this is a famous staircase that takes us into the Hermitage building itself. And this is Catherine's Palace and the Amber Room. This was looted by the Nazis in 1945, and the amber panels have never been recovered. A replica, opened by Putin in 2003, now exists. It is described as the 8th wonder of the world. Across the Neva River on reclaimed land is Peter and Paul's fortress. Peter the Great is buried here, and Tsar Nicholas II. The Northern Lights is a tour that started in Oslo and skirted almost the entire Norwegian coastline. It has been a tour full of adventure, with contrast and set within a winter landscape of snow and ice. It has been a unique tour that has crossed the remote Finnish border with Russia and visited the Arctic city of Murmansk, arriving in St. Petersburg via the Great Kirov railway line. The Trail of the Northern Lights is a spectacular adventure not to be missed.